Shivratri, everybody. So it's a good time because, he's the Adi Guru of Vyakaranam. So we have learned the Maharshi Sutrani. So one of my favorite Shiva Stotrams is this Shiva Mahimna Stotram. It has a lot of grammar in that, a lot of good tikas. So maybe next year we can do some of that also. So let's do the Mangalacharanam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Abhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittilayastada Bhautame Bho Rama Muddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Om Nama Iti. Actually, even this prayer is a dialogue between Parvati Devi and Lord Shiva itself. So, okay, so today what I was thinking of doing was, we have done a lot of, actually, quite a few sutras we have done in the last 2-3 classes. Okay, there's a question already. Let me talk. Yes, Prasanna. Is there a question? No. Okay. I was thinking, yes.
Satishi?
Yes.
I cannot say the sound is not at all good.
The sound is not good?
Everybody else, please ask.
Okay. Kailash, how is the sound? Is sound okay for you?
Yes, sound I'm hearing okay.
Okay. Maybe something with your
Okay.
mic?
Kailashi?
Yes.
You can hear okay?
I can hear okay, yes. So I'm just going to do a test in the background. I'm just going to ask Susan very quickly. Hold on.
The sound quality is not at all good.
How about slightly better now?
No, Prasannaji, if I may comment, actually your voice is also not coming very good. So I'm actually, Nitya said, are you on a slow connection by any chance, Prasannaji?
Is my end?
It could be, because I think other people are hearing fine is what's happening. So.
Yes.
Or you want to dial from the phone, maybe try that, maybe dial on the phone line?
I can hear very well.
Yes, I can hear very well, and Susan is saying in the background that she can hear very well. So I think, Prasannaji, the problem may be at your end.
Yeah, because Prasannaji, your own voice is also very broken. So perhaps there is a communication delay entirely on your connection.
Or you can dial on the phone, try that, maybe come back on the phone line, maybe we can try that.
Yeah, everyone else is saying they can hear very well, so
okay.
Yeah.
Let's so we have done a lot of, quite a few sutras now. You see, in Panini, what happens is that the beginning itself is difficult. Arambhe eva klesha pratiyate. So if you can get even the first 50 sutras, and we've already done about 25, we can get them down clearly, and that will be a very good thing to have. So what I was thinking today was we'll just practice some of the rules which we have done a little bit slowly, and hopefully get some participation from all of you. So that way I know that you're on board with these sutras. At least, we'll refer to them over and over and over again. So it's not like we're going to lose them. But let's do some practice, and then before bringing in new rules, let us practice what we have learned, and get some feedback, and we'll take it from there. So what I was thinking was taking the 11th Adhyaya of Gita, which I have on the screen here, and we will go through the rules which we have learned. So what we have learned so far basically is the when we have the letter ma, the makara at the end of a pada, what happens to that? And the two rules that we have learned are, monuswaraha, which is, I think all of you have this document. It was published, by Kailash-ji. So please refer to that. Unfortunately, what's happened in this document is that the rules are kind of a little bit mixed up. The Ach Sandhi rules, the Visarga Sandhi rules, and also the Anuswara Sandhi rules are all here. But I want to just quickly go through them one time, then we start the practice. So rule number 12, Monuswaraha. That's one rule which applies. In fact, that's the only rule that we have learned so far, to change a makara at the end of a pada. So we can practice that, and that has many applications in Gita. Almost every other verse has that rule, Monuswaraha. So if you have a makara at the end of a pada followed by a hal, which any consonant, it becomes anuswara. And then following that, we saw the vapadantasya, which is that the anuswara optionally becomes parasavarna if it's padanta. So right now everything for us is padanta, which will not be the case when we later on when we start going deeper into the words. But right now everything is padanta for us. So that's also something to keep in mind. So that is if you have a ending makara. So that's case number one. The second is the visarga rule which we have seen. The visarga rules we have seen quite a few. If you want to start from the, so please mark this number 12 and 13 as anuswara sandhi rules. Now visarga rules will be the ones that we did not on December 19th. See, I put all the dates here also. If anybody wants to refresh their knowledge or their, kind of brush over, you can just go back to that date and look at the recording of that class. And we're going to maintain this document going forward. So we will know what all we have done and always come back and refer to these. So on December 19, we had no Visarga Sandhi rules, but we started them on January 9th with the Sasaju Shoruhu, number 7. Then the Atarora Pluta, the Plute, that's number 8, which we did. And also number 9, Hashicha, number 10, Bho Bhago Agapurvasya, Bho Bhago Agho Apurvasya Yoshi, and Lopashakalyasya. So those are the ones which we did on that first session in January. And then also last time we did some, which was the we did Hali Sarvesham, number 18, the Karavasanir Visarjaniya, which is number 19. Also Visarjaniyasya Saha, number 20. And we can also include this one also, Stosh Chonash Chuhu, even though it's not really a Visarga Sandhi rule as such, but we'll be using it in that context. It's number 21. And Va Shari, number 22. And number 23, the Kupoho Kapvaucha. So these are the Visarga rules, and then the remaining are the Ach Sandhi rules. Whatever the number which I didn't go, they're all the Ach Sandhi rules. So what I would like to do is go through shloka by shloka. We'll maybe spend 45 minutes or so, and make sure that we can map every Padanta Makara, every Visarga, and every Ach plus Ach combination to one of these rules. And if we cannot, we will say we cannot do it. Maybe we need one more rule. Okay, but 95% we should be all set with what we have learned so far. Of course, we cannot do all the shlokas in the class, but we'll try to do as many as we can. So I'd like to, somebody can volunteer. I think maybe Karthik can start, right? I know he's very strong, so I'm sure others are also. So let's start with this Arjuna Uvacha. That actually the Padacheda has not been done in this book, but actually I think we all know the Padacheda Arjuna Uvacha. So what rules are applying there? We have a Visarga. We have Visarga at the end. Let's see if Karthik can help me. I don't mean to put him on the spot, but let's see if he can help me. Karthik, are you there?
Yeah, I am there.
Okay, let's see. We have this, we are looking at the very first statement there, which is Arjuna Uvacha.
Yeah.
So what rule can we use from the list that we have?
First it is Arjunas Uvacha.
Okay, very good.
And
So what Karthik is saying is that we really should start with Arjunas plus Uvacha. The reason being is that when Padacheda is done, already some Sandhi rules have been applied, so we have to kind of undo that and go back to the native state. So most of the time for us right now, the Visarga will come from either a Sakara or a Repha. So we'll have to undo that and come back to where we are. Okay, so Arjunas Uvacha. What's the next step, Karthik?
By applying Sasajusho Rumu, we have to make it Arjuna Rum Uvacha. The Sakara becomes a Rum.
Okay, now what is the condition for applying Sasajusho Rumu? The reason I want to make this, because when you apply any sutram, we have to make sure the conditions are satisfied to apply it. So it's a very good habit. It's a very, very good habit. Is that go to the vritti either, and where do we get the vrittis from? we get them either from the Kashika or the Siddhanta Kaumudi. These are two places to get the vrittis from.
It should be any padanta, all sakaras at the end of the padanta.
Very good. So right now we are already in the padanta, as I already mentioned. We have everything right. We have written is padanta right now. So because padacheda has been done. So this is a sakara at the end of a pada, and that's why we are doing the sasajusho ruhu. So we got Arjuna Vacha. The one thing also to keep in mind is that the sasajusho ruhu is a tripadi karyam. We are in the last 3 chapters of the Ashtadhyayi. As we mentioned in the very first class, is that we have to give the first 7.1 chapters a full chance to apply. Only then can we come to the last 3 quarters, which in this case nothing else is applying in the first, what we call the Sapada Saptadhyayi, Karyam Atra Nasti. There is no work to be done by the first 7.1 chapters, but we should always keep that in mind. Where are we in the Ashtadhyayi? Where are we? So are we in the first 7.1? Or are we in the last 0.3? The last 3 quarters. And when we go to the last 3, we should always check that we've done everything in the first 7.1. Okay, so good. That's a good step. Now in Arjuna Ru plus Uvacha. Now in the Ru we have the U as an it. It's a marker. By what sutram?
That is Upadeshe Ajananasika.
Oh, I'm impressed. Very good. Upadeshe Aj Anunasika. So Upadeshe means in any of the technical terms, like Sutra Patha, Dhatu Patha, Gana Patha, any vowel which is nasalized is only a marker. So from that we remove that it letter and we get. By the way, that sutra is not on the document. I think we already had. I think Shankarji already covered that with you, and I have not put all these sutras details in the document. So Arjuna Uvacha. Okay, now what's the next step?
Next would be, I think it would be Bho Bhago Agho Apurvasya Yoshi.
Very
because
good.
Because it is preceded by an akara and followed by a ash letter.
Ash letter, very good. Now this Bho Bhago Agho Apurvasya Yoshi has basically, what are the apavadas for that? That in the document, which 2 sutras overrule the Bho Bhago Agho Apurvasya Ashi? It's okay. I mean, we can go through them and see if we can. Because the reason I'm asking is that we are applying Bho Bhago Agho Apurvasya Yoshi. Let me first pull up the document for that. And Karthik is absolutely correct. He is correct because that is the sutra we need to apply. But I just want to refresh your memory. There are 2 sutras on this document which will overrule that. We want to make sure we are not in the domain of those sutras. So
9, I think rule number 9 will overrule Hashita because Hash will be a subset of Hash.
Very good. So number 8 and 9. Number 8 and 9. Because 8 requires Ataha and Ate. So when Ati, Sarah, Ataha and Ati. So that will be a subset of, so 8 will overrule this Bho Bhago. So 8 will overrule 10. 9 will also overrule 10. So 8 will overrule 10 when we have the short akara on both sides. And 9 will overrule 10 when we have the short akara preceding and a hush letter following. We don't have that. We have the short akara preceding. We don't have a hush letter following because hush letter, as we said, is if you look at the hush letters, they're only the soft consonants. So you start from ha and go to sha. So this is hush. So hashicha would have come into play only if we had these set of letters. Right now we have the letter u following. Now u is not in the hush pratyahara. So that's why we don't need to have to worry about either the rule number 8, atoror prutad prute or hashicha. Good, very good. So then we are down to Bho Bhago Gho Apurvasya Yoshi. So what does that do? That makes
it makes the Repa into a Yakara. So it becomes Dhritarashtrai Uvacha.
Okay, Arjuna Uvacha.
Sorry, Arjuna Uvacha. And after that, we'll have to apply Lopa Shakal gesture to remove the Yakara.
Very good, very good. So what are the conditions for Lopa Shakal gesture?
It's applicable for ya, yakara and vakara at the end of the pada, and it's optional. It drops optionally for any padartha, yakara or vakara.
There are two more conditions. What are they?
I think there is one exception where it drops compulsorily, that is when it's followed by a hal.
No, that is the convention. But even before that, there are two more conditions. What needs to follow the yakara or vakara? If you look at, it's okay. Let's look at the sutra. By the way, Karthik is doing really well. I must say, I'm impressed because I thought we should make you a panelist now from next time. So Kailash, you'll make Karthik a panelist from next time. So okay, let's look at local shakal list. You could go to vritti. Vakara yakara yoho, padanta yoho, but then it has avarna purva yoho. You have to have a varna preceding the ya or va. And lokavati shakalyasya acharyasya matena ashiparataha. So you require a ash letter to follow, and it should be a padanta ya or va, and it should have the avarna to precede. So we can check all of that. We do have all of that because what we have right now is we do have the ya, it is padanta. We have the akara following, that is avarna, and we do have the ash letter following. So everything is satisfied. And then the convention is that yakara is always dropped, vakara is not dropped. So then we get Arjuna Uvacha. Okay, now this brings up another interesting point, is that when do you stop applying rules? When you get whatever you want? Or that is a temptation to do, because we got what we want. We got the answer we got. But that may get you into trouble once in a while. Just because you got what you want doesn't mean no other rule will apply. Sometimes two rules might come and cancel each other. So basically it's like a computer program, Once the routine says nothing else is is applicable, then you stop. There's no application to be done. Now, so Karthik here, why can I not do the ad gunaha? Because I do have Arjuna, I do have U, so why not the A plus U becomes O by ad guna? Why not?
I actually don't know the rule, but I think because the sandhi rule for this precedes the rule that we have applied, so it will not look back and we cannot apply.
Yes, so the rule is the purvatara siddham. Purvatara siddham. Let's go to Ashtadhyaya. This we covered in the very first class, I think, when Shankarji was there, back in December. That's why in the very first class we went through those. See, the Panini splits the Ashtadhyaya into two sections, which is the first 7.1 and the last 3 quarters. We just applied a number of rules in the last 3 quarters. So all these operations which we just did, all of them, will not be seen by any rules in general, in the first 7.1. And the ad gunaha is 6177. So therefore, as far as ad gunaha is concerned, nothing has happened. It still sees Arjunas. See, as far as ad gunaha is concerned, we only have Arjunas Uvacha. That's all it sees. It does not see any of these steps. So if you ask ad gunaha what is going on, he says, I don't know. All I see is Arjunas Uvacha, so there's nothing to apply. So that is the rule, Purvatrasit. It is one of the most critical concepts in Ashtadhyayi, is the Purvatrasiddham. And that is the 821. If you look at the Ashtadhyayi, I'm talking about rule number 821. So 821 divides the Ashtadhyayi into 2 parts. The first routine, and this is the one, 821, Purvatrasiddham. Okay, so good. So that is the reason why ad gunaha does not apply anymore for Purvatrasiddham. So it remains Arjuna Uvacha. Very good. Thank you, Karthik. That's an excellent job. Let's go back to the next one. So we finished that because we had the Visarga. Now let's go to the Padacheda. Madanugrahaya. What are we looking for? We're looking for ach plus ach. We're looking for a Padanta Makara. This is everything is padanta. So we're looking for an antamakara, and we're also looking for a visarga. When we say madanugrahaya, we have the ending akara, which is an ach letter. What is following that? But we have paramam. So we don't have ach plus ach. We had ach preceding, which is the akara, but we had the pakara following now. So we will not be able to apply any of our rules. So let's go ahead. Then tvaya. So what is following tvaya? Tvaya is followed by uktam. Tvaya uktam. So now we do have ach plus ach. So we are going to try to find some rule, and we also know the answer, by the way. The answer is tvayoktam. It's okay. You can look at the answer also, which is right here. Answer is tvayoktam. So we had tvaya plus uktam. We're getting tvayoktam. So we're getting a plus u equals o. Now who can tell me what sutra this is? It's very easy sutram. Okay, Prasanna raised her hand. I think that's good.
Guna.
Ad gunaha. Ad gunaha. What does that rule state?
It. Okay, now I have to.
It's okay. What we can do, we can go to the document. The answer is correct. We can go to the document. We can see. By the way, your voice is very clear now. So whatever you fixed your mic, I think so. Okay, Adguna I think was in the very first class, one of the first. Okay, here it is. He says, Avarnad paraha yo ach. Achi chapurvo yo avarnaha. So when you have the avarna, means rasva atva dirgha akaraha, and followed by an ach, then tayoho purva parayoho, in place of those two. Avarna achoho, in place of the avarna and the ach. Sthane ekaha gunaha adeshaha bhavati. So you have a single letter, a guna letter substitute in place of the preceding avarna and the following ach. Now what are the guna letters? How do you know what is the guna letter?
Adeng gunaha.
Adeng gunaha. Adeng gunaha is not yes.
It's not in here, but it's A, and the O is a guna letters.
Guna. Now which one do we choose here now?
It depends on Tulyasa Prayatnam Savarnam in that case, which is A is Kanta.
A is Kanta, yes.
And U is Oshta, yeah.
Oshta.
So A is Kanta.
Yes, correct.
That basis, I think we
So we have to go by the sutram. There is the Sthanyantatamaha. Sthanyantatamaha.
Okay.
Sthanyantatamaha. That's the one that you want to. That's the Parivasha Sutram, which is in the first Adhyaya point. It says if you want to make a substitute, then there are generally two ways to do it. One is you can do what you're doing right now, because we have two letters and we have three choices to substitute into them. We have, as Prasanna has correctly said, Adeng Gunaha. So we have A, O, three choices. So we have to choose them on the basis of the closest match. It's like a marriage proposal, you know. We have to take the closest match between these two. And the way to do that is first look at the sthanam, is the place of pronunciation. See, the sutra is 1150, by the way. Sthaniyantara tamaha. So look at the sthanam first. So what we have, look at the sthani here. The sthani is the place of the action, the items being replaced. So the sthani is a plus u. So then what is the ucharana dharma of those? It is the, as Prasanna told us, it is the kanta plus oshtya. So ideally we want to find a bridegroom who has the same gunas as these, has same qualities, which we do have because the letter O is also kanta plus oshtya. So that's how that match is done. The other way that we use sometimes is the yatha sankham. Yatha sankham anudesha samanam is when we have 4 items to be substituted by 4. If it's respectively, we can do.
That is for echo yavayavaha.
Yes, echo yavayavaha. Very good. Thank you. Echo yavayavaha. So that is the one which we have used in that context. In the one I'm talking about is 1-3-10. Yatha sankham anudesha samana, which we use in the case of echo yavayavaha. So So in this case, we could not do that because we didn't have 4 by 4 or 3 by 3 or 5 by 5. So we do the sthani antaratamaha and we got the answer O. Now we're going a little bit slow by slow, step by step, because these concepts are very important. They're going to come over and over again all the time. I mean, I know all of you know the answer plus U is O, but to understand exactly why is it that, because later on when we do other examples, it will get more complicated, and then you have to understand why we did everything what we did. So that's good. So we got A plus U equals O, and that was the answer. Adguna, thank you, Prasanna. Good job. So we got that. So let's keep on going. Let's see what we find next. Now yat is, we don't have a makara at the end. We have no visarga. We have no ach. So for the time being, we'll leave that, because it doesn't mean no rule applies. All what we have done so far, we cannot use on this example yet, because we need a makara at the end, or a visarga, or we need right now an ach followed by an ach. Now paramam we do have the makara. So we know only one sutram right now, monuswaraha. But let's see what follows the paramam. So from paramam is followed by a gakara. So should monuswara apply here or not? Can somebody tell me that? Of course, you know the answer. It has applied. But what are the conditions for monuswaraha? Anybody wants to answer that? Let's see. Okay, Karthik is there. Karthik is my man. Good, Karthik is there. Okay.
Yes. When it's followed by a hal?
Yes. So we do have that, because the gakara is a hal letter. Because if you hal means all consonants. So the paramam was everything is follows padanta right now. So we have the makara followed by the hal. So it's going to become unuswara. Now the next operation was what, Karthik? After we do that,
there will be a va padantasya rule applying here.
Va padantasya. So we should have had two forms. So there could have been a secondary form, which is to be written like this. We'll have the ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. It will match the nasal of that class. So we would have had like this. It could have been like this. So we would have had like that. But the convention is right. In writing convention is that most of the time, unless you look at some like grammar books and very hardcore commentaries, they will not use the parasavarna padante. So that doesn't mean that that's not available. In most of the books, you will only see the anuswara padante. Just to avoid the confusion, whether it was actually a nga to begin with, or was it an anuswara to begin with. So they keep the convention as that. But actually, while chanting, it's almost preferred to have the parasavarna. You should say madanagrahaya paramang kakhagang. That's the one will be better. See, as I said, I think I already mentioned, if you want to learn how to chant properly, you can get good tapes, but sometimes the tapes also may not be that good, but some of them are good. The best way you can learn is by looking at the Vedic chanting of the priests, because they learn from the Guru's mouth only. They don't say anything which the Guru doesn't say. And they also have to pass through exams to become priests. So chances are very good that, if you listen to them carefully how they're chanting, that is probably how you want to chant. Otherwise, only from books you will not get the chanting so much. Okay, so good. So this was, you can either have these, so we use two rules, monuswaraha, then vapadantasya. So you get us the two forms. And as Karthik said, we applied monuswaraha because we had the hal letter following, so that's why monuswara would work. Thank you, Karthik. That's good. Let's go down. So next time, hopefully somebody else can do this next time. It's a very simple rule. You can learn. Here it is coming right now. In guhyam, also you have the, also when pronouncing this, you should pronounce the ha. You should say guhyam. Sometimes the ha gets eaten up, becomes guhyam. Not guhyam, but guhyam. Now what is following the makara? Who can take this one? Anybody else? Can we apply monuswara here or not? Anybody else? Okay, Paul is coming. Many people are coming. Good, thank you. Let me take a new one. What's the answer? Yes, Paul.
Yeah, no, you cannot, because it's followed by a ach.
Followed by letter A, right?
Right.
So A is what? It is not a ha.
Ach. Yes,
Yes, it is an ach letter. That's good, thank you. So is a vowel ach, so we cannot finish. So as you can see, there was no change because the guhyam is followed by the letter a, so it remained as it is. So that's so the ending makar is very simple. For us, you just check if there is a hal following, you apply monuswaraha vapadantasya if possible. Otherwise, if it's not following, then it remains ma. So those we can kind of go fast now, so we can do that now. Okay, thank you, Paul. Good
Okay.
to hear from you.
Thank you.
Now, next one we do is the guhyam adhyatma sanyitam. Now, here also can we do monuswaraha? Can we or can we not? Because what is following? We have the danda following. So that will not do monuswaraha because the fact that hal has to follow. The moment the danda comes, all sandhi operations are stopped because we have the anuvritti of samhitayam. For the rule that we are using, we have anuvritti of samhitayam. I shouldn't say all are stopped. Basically, unless it says something to do avasane. Danda is called avasana. Avasana means like nothing follows. So we have only one rule I think we did so far, the karavasana visarjaniyaha. Karavasana yor visarjaniyaha. So that one we could use. But otherwise, other rules we cannot use because padanta makara with hal following. We don't have hal following. So let's go on. So then again we have the vachaha and tena. Okay, so we have visarga. Okay, first visarga rule now we have vachaha we have. Who can take this? Somebody else? Who can take this? Okay, Vasudha wants to take this. Very good. Yes, Vasudha. So we have vachas plus tena.
Vachas plus tena, that is vachaha tena. So vashari, I'm thinking it's going to be vashari.
No, we don't have, what is shar? Shar is only shar, shastar. We don't have shar following, right? So vashari will not work here because it requires a shar to follow. Which other can we use?
That is not, I can use it then. I should
Look,
get
what we have is we have a visarga.
Visarjaniyasya saha. Can I
Very
replace
good.
it?
Visarjaniyasya. See, you can also work backwards, because we need to get the sakara in there, right?
Yes.
So visarjaniyasya saha. What does that require?
It requires basically the khar. I need a khar letter besides.
Very good. You want a khar letter to follow. And the khar goes from this ka, pa, cha, ta, tha, cha, ta, ta, ka, pa, sha, sha, sar. And right now we're looking at the takara.
Takara.
We do have the khar letter. So visarjaniyasya saha. Visarjaniyasya saha. So that's the rule we want to use. So that becomes vachas.
Vachas plus 2. Tena. Vachas plus tena. Vachas tena.
Vachastena. So I think we are done. So visarjaniyasya saha was the only rule which she applied here. Good. Very good. Thank you. So and that requires khari pare. That's what we got. Good. So that is that. Let's go on. Now, what comes after that? Uktam. So again the same thing. Uktam, you check if monuswara applies or not. See, that's as I told you, because once you practice the rule about 5-10 times, this is very simple now, right? So uktam is followed by vachas. So we know hal is following. So we would have, that's why they applied the rule monuswaraha, and we became makarasya anuswara adeshaha, and then again vapadantasya. So parasavarna we have to do. Let me ask one question. I'm not reading so well. When can we not do the va? Which 5 letters don't have a savarna nasal? Which 5 letters don't have a savarna nasal? Okay, Karthik has the answer. I was going to make Karthik into a panelist. He should become the instructor now, I think. So, okay, Karthik, go ahead. Karthik? No?
Yeah, I think I muted myself. It's,
okay, go ahead.
Sha, sha, sa, ha.
Okay, these 4. One more is there, Karthik. Which is there? So, Karthik is right. We have the talavya sha, murdhanya sha, dantya sa, and we have the hakara, which is actually pancha. One more is there. Which one is that?
I don't know.
Okay, let's go here. See if we can start down the list. Of course, all the vowels have their nasalized versions. Then ha we already talked about. The ya has the young, the wa has the wong. But what about the refa? Does the refa have a round? It does not. So refa is the fifth letter which does not have any savarnas with it. These are all single members of society. They are not married. They reside singly. So these 5 people, they are singles. The talavya sha, murdhanya sha, dantya sakara, the hakara and the refa. They have no savarna. And obviously they have no savarna nasal also. So in that case, the va padantasya we cannot do it because it only if the parasavarna is possible only, then there is going to be a va. It's not possible. So for these 5 we cannot do it. So just remember that going forward. So right now what do we have, Kartik? Right now we have the va, I think. Right? We have the va following. So we can make it into a vam. We should say yatvayoktam vachastena. So you can make it like that. Like the word samvadaha. So you should not say samvadaha. You should say samvadaha. So that's so right now we could have again 2 forms, but in writing only the convention only put the anuswara dot there, but we could have had the nasalized va being used here. Okay, thank you. So that is the one. Next, let's go on. Uktam, we did that. Now tena we have the avarna there, but it's followed by the makara. So we don't have ach plus ach. We cannot do anything. Then mama comes at the end. It's the avasana following. We don't have ach plus ach. We had the ach but no ach following. So ayam, the same example we are having again. Ayam plus the vakara following. So here also we won't spend too much time because you know that by now it's mo anuswaraha. Then va padantasya, do the parasavarna, would have become the vam letter optionally. And then mohaha. Okay, who can take this one now? We have mohaha followed by the word ayam. So we have the visarga which is sandwiched between the akara on both sides. So purvavarti akara api asti, paravarti api akara asti. So now which sutram can we apply here? Anybody new? Anybody can give me the sutram for this? Which we have the short followed in preceding and following. So we need to start with ato. Okay, Prasanna is there. Good. All right, let's start. Okay. Yes, Prasanna. Yes, Prasanna. Go ahead.
Hello, Satish.
Yes.
It's atoro rapluta up to that's I'm sorry. 61113.
113. Atoro. The key is to go slow.
Yeah.
Atoro rapluta plute. But there are 2 things to chanting. One is go slow and make the longs longer. That give you a nice pause.
Okay.
Say atoro rapluta plute. Atoro rapluta plute. Atoro rapluta plute. Okay, good. And as I mentioned to you, for the purpose of this class, we're going to ignore the apluta, the plute, because they are very, very rare. We don't have the plutas in classical Sanskrit. Pretty much they're not there, so we ignore that. So we only have, ato, ataha, ati. Anuvti of ati is coming down there. So let's go to that vritti and always make it a habit to read the vritti. Whether this, as I mentioned, I think I already mentioned to you, these vrittis are done with extreme care. Extreme is extreme care. Every single word in the vritti is weighed with its necessity, its placement, its importance, because people memorize these vrittis. Vrittis are memorized by people. So the vrittis are really, sometimes I may, of course, whatever I say is not pramanam, because this is pramanam. What you have in Kashika, what you have in Siddhanta Kaumudi, that is pramanam, because sometimes I may make things up which may not be 100% correct. But the vritti is correct. So akarad, and also you'll improve your language skills also, as you read the vritti. So akarad, aplutad, uttarasya, roho, Refasya. The refa of a ru should be the refa of the ru. Ukara anubandha vishishtasya. It should have the u as in it. It should be a ru, not the ordinary refa. So ukara anubandha vishishtasya akare aplute parataha ukara adesho bhavati. Now you have to check if these conditions are satisfied in our example, because here if we start from the beginning, as I think Kartik did for the first example, what the example we have is mohoyam. So we can do it like this. We can take it step by step. We start with the mohas plus ayam, and then we do the sasaju shoruho. So we now have the moha r plus ayam, and now let's check our conditions. We do have the refa of the ru. We have a ru. We do have the short of preceding. We do have the short of following. So everything is satisfied, and then we have to do. But if you ever have a doubt, what is preceding, I would suggest the following. You parse the entire string like you do in like in mathematics or something you do in computer programming. You parse the entire string. So we can just do it one time just for practice. And we can do it like this. We have ma, and then we have the o, then we have the ha, then we have the a, and then we have the ru. That's what we have. And following that, we have the a, then we have the ya, then we have a, and we have ma. So to take it like that, if you're ever in doubt what is preceding, what is following and all that, just expand the whole thing. So we have ma, o, ha, a, ru, then a, ya, a, ma. And now you can clearly see that we do have the ato, ataha, and then ati, tarataha, and then madhyavarti, ru. So we have that also. So everything, this is what we want. We want this combination. We want this a, ru, a. And then, so what is the adesha prasanna? What do we do now? What is the vidhi? What does it do? The ru becomes what now?
Ru becomes u. Ukara. It becomes ukara.
It becomes ukara. So ukara adeshasya. So then.
But Satishji, can I ask you a question before we go further?
Sure.
Sasajushoho, it's Ruhu, that is 8266, right?
Very good, yes.
We applied in the beginning. And then now we are going this 61113.
Yes.
So where is this Purvatara Siddham is coming into the place?
Very good question. Purvatara Siddham. Who can answer Prasanna's question? Who can answer her question? She has a very good question. We start with Sasajushoruhu, and then we came back to Kartik has the answer, yes.
If we don't apply this rule, then the room will not have any other rule that applies on it. So we'll have to apply it.
A little bit, kind of right, a little bit different is if you don't allow the Atoror or Pruta to see the Sasajushoruhu, it will never apply.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So the rule is only created by Sasajushoruhu. So that will make the 61113 useless, and no rule can become useless, which is Vachana Samarthyat. Because Panini is saying that you do this operation, obviously he is assuming that the rule has to be seen by this rule. So that is the reason why we are overriding the Purvatara Siddham. Then the next question comes is that why did Panini put this rule here and why not over there? Because if rather than making this thing about having to assume this and then do that, the answer to that is anuvrittis. He has to make the Ashtadhyayi extremely compact for memorization. Because people memorize this all the time. So he will not waste extra words when something is obvious. So this rule, Atoror or Prutada Plute, has to see the rule, otherwise it will never apply. It is obvious. So that is why he said, okay, it's going to be obvious. People will understand that they have to override the Purvatara Siddham. So that's the answer. Thank you, Kartik. That's the answer. But the question was a very good one because we did a Tripadi Karyam, and then paschat, we want to come and do the sapasaptadhyayi karyam. So that normally should not be allowed. But that would make the rule asiddham, that's why we allowed it. Okay, so we had moha, u plus ayam. Now what's the last step?
But Satishji, one more question.
Yes.
This ru is a Paninian term, right?
Yes.
Which he introduced in the Tripadi section.
Yes.
But the vritti is a little bit, refasya, okar, anubandha, vishishtasya. The vritti could simply have said ru instead of saying the refa which has a u in it, etc., etc. The vritti seems to recognize that there is no ru at all.
Yeah, the vritti is now is kind of understanding that this was going to come much later in the so it's helping you out. It's a little bit helping you out to hear that ru which is going to come there over there. That's the one that we want to use over here. Yes, so that you're right. The vritti is a little bit more elaborate than is necessary, right? Could have been straight, could have been more compact, vritti. But I think that's the reason for that is that he is making it clear that that's the only ru which is going to come. So that is why we want to make it doubly clear that that's the one that you want to take and nothing else. So now we have moha plus u. Now as Prasanna said, we have the ad gunaha. So then we make it moho plus ayam. What's the last step, Prasanna?
Enga padantati. That's
Enga
61109.
padantati.
Yes.
Enga padanta. What are the conditions for that?
That is when a letter end of the pada, which is the a o.
A o. Eng is eng as you see in the my sutra is a or o. Okay, good.
O, followed by a, short a.
Short a, correct. Ati pare.
In the
Then
place of two.
Yes. There's an eka adesha, the pura rupam.
Yes.
Pura rupam eka adesha syat. So this between place of the o plus a in place of those two, only the o remains. So that's and then that's indicated by this thing called avagraha. Avagraha is maybe it's not a very old symbol. Maybe it could be so. And the avagraha, as I said, should not rely on the avagraha too much, because that is the editor's opinion. So when you read the palm leaves, it'll be like this, moho yam. But they're going to make it easy for us to make it to show it like this. But I think I mentioned in the last class already that there are at least 2 shlokas in Gita where there may at least 3 shlokas I can think of in Gita where you can have the avagraha. It may or may not be there, depending on the interpretation. In this case, the word yam will not make any sense. But you may have a word which will make sense with or without the akara. If you had a word yam, the interesting point here is that if you had it like this, if you had mohaha, and then you had yam, if you had this in the text, we'll get the same form, moho yam. So now we do not know from the ending whether it was actually moho ayam, or was it moha ayam, or was it mohaha yam. We don't know. There's no way to know. Sandarbhad eva jnayate. Only from the context you will know. This is a very dangerous rule. So because you can have it going both ways. You may have, and the shloka in the first adhyaya of Gita, narake niyatam vaso bhavatityanu shushruma. So Arjuna says that they dwell in hell indefinitely, or they definitely dwell in hell. So either one will work. So narake niyatam vasaha, narake aniyatam vasaha, atva narake niyatam vasaha. So both will work the same way. So you have to be very careful about this rule. If you had mohaha plus yam, will get the same form moho yam. Because then you'll apply the hashicha, get the ukara, ad gunaha, become moho yam. So, but that is why the editor is putting the avagraha. That's his opinion, that it should be ayam. Of course, in this case, it's very clear because the word yam will not fit in this context. But sometimes it can cause a lot of problems. Good. So let's move on. That's the good. So from now on, when you have the visarga sandwich between the akara on both sides, these are the steps. Let me go through one more time. So we're going to see it again and again. So we had mohas plus ayam. Will sasajusho ruhu. Then we did that made the Ru Adesha in place of the Padanta Sakara. Following that, we had the Atoror Pluta, the Plute. We ignore the Apluta, the Plute, just take Ataha, Ati. And then we had the Ru in between, that becomes the Ukara Adesha, then Ad Gunaha, and then Ing of Padanta, the Ti. So 4 rules, Sasajusho Ruhu, Atoror Pluta, the Plute, Ad Gunaha, Ing of Padanta, the Ti. These are all very, very common rules which you are going to see hundreds of times going forward, literally hundreds of times. They're going to, by the time you go through 1 or 2 years, they're going to be like ABC for you. But good, so we want to get them sure we understand the ABCs right now. So later on when we need them, we can apply them. Good, so that was a good example. Thank you, Prasanna. We can now, let's see, I think the shloka might be over. Okay, the last word is Vigataha. Okay, who can do this one? Vigataha plus mama. Vigataha plus mama. Anybody wants to try that? What we want is we want to get this one to become Vigato mama. So the same in the same thing which we just did. Anybody new can answer? Anybody new? I think Vasudha can do it. Vasudha, I'm sure Vasudha can do it. Yes. Yes, Vasudha.
1 second. Atto.
Yes, yes. Sasajusho Ruhu we can do. So we can start with the Vigatas.
Vigatas.
Yeah, Vigatas plus. So let's start with that. So we get Viga. It was actually Vigatas to begin with.
Vigatas plus mama.
Then we got Sasajusho Ruhu.
Sasajusho Ruhu. Vigataru.
Yeah.
Ru. And then Upadeshe Chanunasika it.
Right. Upadesha Janunasika it. So, and then actually, you know what? Okay, yes, that's fine. And then what?
Ka plus wu gives you to.
So, but no. We removed the u by the as a it sanya. So we got Vigatar.
Vigatar. Okay.
Vigatar. So we need to replace the ra with the u. Is what we need right now. We need the that refa of the ru to become into a u. So which one can we use?
Then it becomes okay. Which should be ru should be in between those things. Okay, that's it. Now we have this takara. It is sandwiched between those 2 things. Atore.
No, because see but the following is a man. We don't have a sandwich here because we have the preceding, but following is the next rule. Next
okay.
rule.
Next one is going to be. Then we can.
So 63114.
63114. Okay, I'm not getting that one actually.
It's going to be Hashicha.
Hashicha.
It's okay, good.
Hashicha, yeah,
so Hashicha is
yes.
the rule.
So this is 61114, right?
I'm sorry, 61. Did I say 64? What did I say?
Yeah, you said 63, I think.
I'm sorry, 61114. Yeah, I'm sorry. So 61114. Thank you. So Hash means,
okay, Hash. Let us see what the Hash is there.
Hash means all soft consonants. Mrudu varnaha.
Okay.
So which the
So
merge.
start A plus we have the Refa plus Mrudu Varna.
So we have when preceded by short A, followed by a Hash, then the Visarga becomes the Ru becomes U.
Oh.
So we get the U. So we get the U.
Vigata U.
That's mama. And then of course Ad Gunaha.
Ad Gunaha then comes.
Vigato mama.
Vigato.
Vigato mama.
Vigato.
Good. So that was the step. So the main rule was
Hashicha.
Hashicha was the main rule. Okay, good. Thank you. So that completes the first look. Maybe we can do maybe one more or 1 or 2 more maybe, because the example which you already did now, we will just mention the sutra, then we can hopefully a little bit faster. So let's try the next one. The first bhavapyayau hi bhutanam shrutau vistarasho maya tattah kamalapatrakshya mahatmyam apicha vyayam. So in the he we do have an ending ach. So let's see if we have an ach following. We don't, because the bhutanam is following. So that we cannot do anything because we have the ach at the end. There is nothing. The ach is not following. So let's take the next one. Kamala patraksha. same thing. We have the ach ending. Let's see what is falling. Falling is only a makara because we don't have ach plus ach. Now bhutanam. So we had the makara. We have to see if it is halipare or not, which we do have because we have the talavya sha. So we will do the monuswaraha. Monuswaraha. I think we've all done that already, so we won't go through it in detail. But monuswaraha, it's a makara, padanta makara, halipare. So this I think will very easy for you now. So, but in this case, as I mentioned to you, the va padantasya cannot be done because the talavya shakara is one of those 5 letters which does not have a savarna nasal. It has no savarna. So therefore, because even though it's a talavya, it is not savarna with the cha, ja, nya, because it is a different pratna from them. To be savarna, you have to tulyasya pratnam savarnam. Tulyasya pratnam. So even though the asya might be tulya with cha, ja, nya, the pratna is not. So this anuswara will remain anuswara only. So bhutanam, shrutau. Okay, next one is bhavapyayau. Here also we have the ach ending. What is following that? Following only is the ha. So we cannot do anything here also. Then maya. That is avasana. Danda is coming. So again, nothing we can do. Even though we had the ach, don't have ach following. Vistarashaha. So here again, let's see. The same rule is going to come now, which Vasudha just did for us. Vistarashaha plus maya. So we have the visarga. We have the short a preceding, and we have the ma following. So what rule applies here? Anybody new? What rule? We just did the one that we just did just now, which Vasudha just did for us. So what rule applies here? I think Paul must know. Let me call him Paul. He must know this one. He knows it. Yes, Paul.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember the exact rules. I have them memorized down, so I won't be able to tell you what it is. But it's
how you want to try hashicha?
Yeah, that's what I think. Well, I remembered, but I couldn't say it. I thought that's what it was. Okay.
Hashicha. Hashicha says if you have a short a preceding, and if you have a hush letter following. Hush means soft consonants. So the ma is a hush letter. So and that is if you can look at the document, the hush is all of these are the soft consonants. So that's why. And then what happens is that the first you of course have to do sasaju shoruhu, and then the ru will be the repa of the ru will become the ukara. And then what's the next rule after we have make it into the u?
The u, I can't remember how to say it, but u combines with the a.
Yes, correct. That's right.
Makes o.
Makes o. It's ad gunaha.
Ad gunaha. There it is. Ad gunaha.
So when you have the avarna preceding and the any ach following, then you have the uruparu ekadesha, and that's the gunaha. So ad gunaha. So that's a sequence. Hashicha. This is what I call the Namo Narayana rule. Namaha plus Narayana. You have the short a preceding. You have the hush letter following. So it becomes Namo Narayanaya.
So is that your way of calling it?
That's just my thing.
Okay.
That's just the way of that's just call because it's a very common term,
Right.
When you say Namo Namaha, so Namo Namaha, Namo Narayan, this is all the same rules. Hashicha, ad gunaha. So good. Okay. So that's we got that. Thank you.
Thanks for calling me.
Then comes Tvattaha. Okay. Here's a new rule for us. Tvattaha. So we have visarga followed by the letter ka. So we can start with Tvattas plus ka, and let's see how far we can go with that. So we come down here. We do the see, one more thing I want to mention to you is that in the beginning it's a little bit frustrating because you might say, I know all this. I don't need Pani Sutras for this. I already know it. Because I also had the same temptation when I was learning the language, because in the beginning my teacher used to make me recite all the rules, for Rama Shabda, every rule. I said, why do I need the rules? I know Rama Shabda. I know Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Raman. I know that. I don't need the rules. But he used to make me recite all the rules every time. Now I'm glad he did that, because now I know that those rules may apply elsewhere. Also, I get to know how the rules apply, where they are, what is Panini's system, how does he do certain things. Because when I really need the rules, I'm ready for them now, because now I know the system. If I don't know the system, when I really want the rules, I'm completely lost. Now I don't know what to do. So it might be frustrating for you at this point that you know the answer, like Paul said, he knows a plus u is o, he knows that, but ad gunaha may not know. So you can work from both sides. It's good to know the answer. That's of course very good. It all helps. But try to, if you can remember the rules, it will give you it'll make you ready for the next step, which is coming soon. That's why we're spending so much time today to go through the steps. Okay. So I know it's frustrating because I've been through the same thing, because I had to recite the rules from a teacher all the time. Every time she's asking what sutra, what sutra, what sutra, what sutra. And sometimes I say, why do you need this sutra? But we do need that. So tattaha plus kamala. So let's think. Okay, now who can take this one for us? Who can do this one? Let's see. I think Prasanna can do it, right? Maybe can I call somebody new? Okay, let me try Prasanna. And I know Karthik will know this. Let me try Prasanna. Anybody wants to volunteer? Last chance? No. Okay. All right, Prasanna, you want to try this? Prasanna, what rule applies here?
Yes, Satish, yes. What is that again, please? Let me make my...
Tvattas plus ka.
That is
this. So we have the Padanta Sakara. So what's the first thing you want to do is?
That is it 8 for 40?
But before that, you want to do Sasaju Shoruhu, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, so let's just start with that. So we'll become the Tvat Ru. Okay. And
Ukara
then,
goes away. Yeah.
Yeah, then Upadeshajuna Nasikit. And then actually before that, one more thing this is one more interesting small point. But before you remove the it letters, you can check if the entire rule is going to go away,
Oh, yes.
Because sometimes we remove the it letters and then we realize, we didn't need to remove the it letters,
I see.
I think, okay. So now, because what could apply here? I think we had this rule before today. We have the rule followed by a kar letter, followed by a kar. So what can we use?
Karavasanayo Visarjaniya.
Yeah, I think Vasudha had it also. Very good, thank you. Yeah, Karavasana Visarjaniya, Karavasanayor Visarjaniya. And that requires not rule, it requires any repa.
Yes.
That was for, Samanyasya repasya. So then we can remove the u, we can do the Upadesha Junanasika it, and then we can do the Karavasanayor Visarjaniyaha. So we got the Visarjaniya. So we got the Tvat. Okay, we got Tvattaha plus we got the Ka. Now what can we do? Now let me be the Puru Paksha now. I will be the devil's advocate. So I want to apply the Visarjaniyasya Saha, because the reason I want to do that is because Khari Parataha. So when the Khar follows, Visarjan becomes Saha. So
you're going back to same where we started.
But can I? Yes, good point. Good point. But my question too is that if we're going to talk about that, is first of all, can I do Visarjaniyasya Saha here or not?
334.
And if you look at it at face value, the answer should be yes, because the conditions are satisfied. Because it requires only Khari Pare. So I have the Khar, because Khar includes all the hard consonants. So I do have that. So let's dwell on this for 1 second. So I do have the Khar, because I have the Ka. The Ka is in the Khar. And if I look at my vritti, if I look at my document, in the vritti, and if I do the Visarjaniyasya Saha, I think it came on the next day. It came here, and it says, okay, Visarjaniyasya Sakaraha Adesho Bhavati Khari Parataha. So if you had a computer program, it will spit out this rule for application. Its conditions are satisfied. So now, can anybody tell me, can I do this here or not, and why I cannot do it? Okay, Karthik has the answer. Okay, good. Yes, Karthik.
There is an apavada, the
Yeah.
kuppoho that rule.
Very good. There's an apavada for this.
I see.
Even though the rule was applying, we have to check for apavadas. Apavada means that it has a subdomain rule. And why is a subdomain? Is it says kuppoho. So when you have a visarga followed by the ka varga or pa varga, again which have to be kar letters, because the visarga will not come if it's not kar. So basically we're talking about ka, kha, pa, pa. When one of these four follows, then the apavada is, because see, the visarjanyasya saha said that any kar could follow. This one is saying only ka, kha, pa, pa should follow. So this is an apavada, because if you don't give it a chance, it will not apply. How will it ever get a chance? Because the ka, kha and pa, pa are also kar letters. It is a subdomain of the bigger rule, the visarjaniyasya saha. In fact, the visarjaniyasya saha number was what? It was number 8334, okay? So visarjaniyasya saha is 8334. The apavada is 8337. This is also an important concept, because someone can now argue that the purvatara siddham, when you come to the tripadi, the earlier rule does not see later rules. Within the tripadi, within the 82, 83, 84, if you have an earlier rule, it will not wait for a later rule. Then how come the 8334, which is the visarjaniyasya saha, how come it's being bumped out by this one? Because apavadas can be anywhere. They will still overrule, because obviously, otherwise they will never apply. If 8334 does not get bumped out by 8337 in this case, the 8337 will never have a chance to apply anywhere whatsoever. So even though it should be asiddham for 8334, because 34 is an earlier rule, this 8334 should not even see 37. But it has to see, because otherwise it should not get a chance. So Karthik is correct. There's an apavada for that. And what does it say? Is ka varga pa varga yoho parataha. Do we have that? Yes, we do have that. Because right now what we're looking at is the visarga followed by the letter ka. So we do have ka varge parataha. We do have that. And what is it wanting to do? It wants to do yatha sankham. It wants to do this, what is called as the jivva mulya, which has this symbol like an hourglass kind of symbol it has, If you pronounce it like we say, we pronounce it with the throat. The tvattah, kamala patraksha, tvattah. Or it can say, the Panini has a rule of cha. But it's an interesting thing, when Panini uses the term cha, what does that mean? Someone, I think, did a PhD on this. Believe me, this is true, I'm not making it up. Someone has a PhD on the use of cha by Panini. So when the cha is used by Panini, he definitely wants something. It's not to be used just for pada purane. There are many ways. You can look at what the Kashika says here. Chakarat means the fact that the cha is being said, visarjaniyaha cha, means you can get the jivva mulya, or you can also get the visarga. So you'll have two forms. You can say tvattaha kamalapatraksha or tvattah kamalapatraksha. These two forms you will have. That's what the chakara is doing here, this cha. So coming back to our question is that the visarjaniyasya saha was applicable, but it had an apavada, which was even later on coming, 8337, which overruled it, as Karthik said. So now we're going to have, again in writing, they will, unless you're looking at Vedic text, only in Vedic text when they write, they'll put that hourglass symbol, that tvattah kamalapatraksha, that one. In all the classical texts, they will not put that symbol. They will only put that visarga only there. But you have to understand that the kuppoha kappocha has applied here. Okay, good. So we had a new sutra. Maybe we'll do one more, because I wanted to maybe do one or two more sutras today. And this is what we're going to do continuously. We're going to keep on practicing. Of course, what's going to happen, we'll learn more rules next time. means one or two more, and then we'll then, we'll have those to practice also. So we'll practice the old ones, we'll also practice the new ones. Of course, when the old becomes really old, we'll just kind of, mention and go along. Then we already know. Like for example, Mo Anuswaraha. The Mo Anuswara from next time onwards, we all know it now, Mo Anuswaraha and Vapadantasya. So that one will not go in detail. But others we will keep on going till we get used to them. Okay, let's move on. So Tvattaha and then Shrutau. Shrutau is ending in an ach. Let's see what follows. No, but only Vakara is following. So we don't have ach plus ach. So nothing we can do. Next one is the cha. And what follows the cha? Okay, here we have one. We have the cha followed by the avyayam. So we have the ach plus ach. We have the chakara uttarvarti akaraha. So this a which is following the cha. And then we have the adi akara of the avyayam. So who wants to take this one? We have a plus a. And we also know the answer, it becomes a. So what sutram is there for that? A plus a becoming a. Okay, Vasudha has it, Prasanna has it. Okay, let's see. Okay, Vasudha, what's the answer?
Akka savarno dirgha, savarna dirgha sandhi?
Akka savarne dirgha. Akka savarne dirgha.
Akka savarne dirgha.
So when the savarna, when we have a letter following which is savarna vidya, then we can make the dirgha. So it is the pura parayoho ekadeshaha. And as I think the Siddhanta Kauli says, akka aki dirgha. So when you have ak plus ak, there should be an ekadeshaha of the savarna letter. So we have a plus a, and clearly the dirgha is only going to be long a. The question to you is that, why did we not apply ad gunaha?
This one is a kind of apavada.
The question is that the question is when you ask this question, first we need to go to ad guna and see if the all its conditions are satisfied. So when we had
all the conditions are satisfied for ad guna, but this one is a kind of a subset of the ach because here.
No, it will not be a subset, because see, the ad guna was only a varna preceding and any ach following. The akasami dirgha is ak plus ak. So unfortunately, it is not a subset, because even though the what is following is a subset, what is preceding is not a subset, because we had on one side we have at, other side we have akaha. So that is not a subset. So that will not help us. What else could be happening here? The answer is correct. We want to use akasami dirgha. But this is not what we call an apavadaha. Apavadaha will not come because it is not a subset as such. So now what do we do? What can help us? If you remember the very first class we did, that's why in the very first class I went to these ways where you can break the tiebreaker in the Sapada Saptadhyaya, in the 7.1, when two rules come simultaneously, applications simultaneously. Then how do you break the tie? So we want ad guna is coming, akasami dirgha is coming, and one is not the subset of the other. Of course, we know the answer. We know it's akasami dirgha. But what are we going to do to help us? Can anybody help me with that? Can anybody tell me why are we choosing the akasami dirgha and we are not choosing the ad gunaha? Okay, Karthik has just speak. Yes, Karthik. Yes, Karthik.
Maybe because the ad gunaha doesn't give any result, it just stays as it is. So you have to apply this tool.
No, we have to see because what is the result we're not even concerned right now. We are only saying why are we giving this one a chance and not that one. See, okay, you're right. In case of ad guna, the most we have to do will remain a only. A plus a will become a, because that will be the only guna. We'll have to do that if we had to do it. But how do we know that is not the right answer? This is the right answer.
Akasami dirgha is more specific, right?
Specific, it has to be a subset. It's not
a subset.
It's not a subset. Because on the left hand side we have ak, And this we have ad guna, we have only a. So the ak is not a subset of the ad. So that's the problem. Okay, so let me refresh your memory. Okay, Prasanna has the answer. Let me try Prasanna. Okay.
Satishi,
Yes.
I don't know whether I'm not going to give you the answer, but see, in Adgunaha, we are going to replace the Purva letter. In Akasarana Dirga, there are Purva Parayo, both letters were.
No, both same meaning. Adguna, even in Adguna, we have Pura Parayoho.
Purva Parayo, is it?
Yeah, because in place of a plus u, we did o. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, yes.
But even if that was not the case, still that will not stop. Will not tell you to overrule in any case.
That is true. Just I was going to ask.
But you're correct. But it's good. Both are Pura Parayoho only.
Yes.
Okay, now let me refresh your memory. Good. See, this is how we learn Vyakaranam. Is that we ask the question, because both conditions are satisfied. When you run the computer routine, it's going to spit out both these rules. It's going to ask you which one do you want to take. Unless you have the routine to tell it which to take, you don't know what to take. And this only occurs in the Sapada Saptadhyaya only, not in Tripadi. In Tripadi, you go step by step because the earlier rule gets the first chance in Tripadi. Here we are in the 7.1. That's only where to go the tiebreaker system. Remember in the first class we talked about this thing about Vipratishedhe Parankaryam. Vipratishedhe Parankaryam. This is a Panini rule, and this rule has a commentary on it. But this is what Panini calls Vipratishedhe. Means that when you have a competition, two rules which are coming. So I'm talking about 412, Vipratishedhe Parankaryam. I think I should put on the document this one, the Vipratishedhe. Maybe I'll do that on the next weekend. Vipratishedhe Parankaryam says that when you have in the Sapada Saptadhyaya, Vipratishedhe Sati, when there is a contest between two rules, when there is a conflict, then Parankaryam should take the later rule. But before you do that, you have to go to 3 steps. I know this is sounding for you too complicated for you, but it's important because this is going to come all the time. So it's going to come all the time. So there will be many situations which you're going to see where you're going to have 2 rules coming, or maybe more. There might be 3, 4, 5 rules coming, and we have to be able to tell to use this or that. So one we already know. If it's an apavada, the apavada has to overrule. Otherwise, it will never get a chance. So that's step number 1. Do we have an apavada? We don't have apavada. Because as we said, one side we have ad, one side we have akaha. The second step is what's called the antaranga bahiranga. Means something which is an internal operation has to be done first related to an external operation. We don't have it right now. So right now we have just only 2 letters combining. We have a plus a. So both rules are applying on the same place. It's not like one is internal, one is external. So that will not help us to break the tie right now. And that's a complicated factor. When we come to it, we'll deal with it. But right now it is not going to help us. So we only have a plus a, and both rules are coming on the same situation, the same place. So we cannot say one rule is external, one is internal. So that won't help us. The last one is, third step is what is called nitya anitya. If one rule applies, the other will not apply. But if you have rules A and B, if A applies, B will not apply. Let's assume. If B applies, A will still apply. Then A is a nitya rule, B is anitya, and the A has to be given a chance. Will it help us here? It will not help us. Because if you do akasavani dirgha, you will have long a. Once you have the long a, you cannot do ad gunaha. And vice versa also. Once you do the ad gunaha, you would have had a short a in place of those 2. Then you cannot do akasavani dirgha either. So they are mutually anityam. They're not like one is nityam and anityam. So these 3 steps don't help us. So finally we'll say that which is a later rule in the Ashtadhyaya will apply. Now what are the numbers for ad gunaha? Ad gunaha I think is around 87, right? Ad gunaha, if you look at ad gunaha, we have, it is 6187. Now what is the rule for akasavani dirgha? and that rule is 101. So that is why the akasami dirgha overrules adgunaha, because they are both applicable, but nothing else helped us to break the tie. It was not that one was an apavada. It is not that one was a, antarang. It was one was internal, one was external. We didn't nothing like that for us. Nothing with nitya anitya didn't help us, because when one applies, other doesn't apply. So that didn't help us. So finally we came to this. Now the last thing is that when all these steps fail, then there will be something given by in the bhashyam. She'll tell us that in spite of this being a earlier rule, we still apply it. So there are situations when all of these will also fail. Then we have to go and look at the bhashyam and see what he's saying. So remember the steps again. This is only going to happen in the Sapada Saptadhyayi, because in Tripadi we have to go step by step by step. When we have 2 or more rules, first check, is it apavada? Next check, is one rule internal, one external? We'll look at it more in detail later on. The third step, do we have one nitya, one anitya? And the last step is that if all these don't work, then look at which is the later rule, number-wise coming later. That one will overrule. And if that also doesn't work, then you have to go to the bhashyam, and there will probably be a vartikam for that. See, when all these don't work, then Katyayana puts a vartikam for that. He will say that Panini should have said this. So that's when you have to look at some help outside. So that's lesson for today. So that is why we use akasami dirgha to overrule adgunaha. So let's move on. We see this again and again. This is going to come all the time. So we're going to see it all the time coming. Okay, now avyayam, we have a padanta makara, and what is following that? That's at the end, so nothing. We cannot do monuswaraha. Mahatmyam, we have a makara followed by api. We cannot do anything because we don't have a hal following. And then api, we do have the ach letter at the end. That's followed by what? That's followed by chakara. So nothing to do. So we did 2 rules. We did 2 shlokas today, but we will do more next time. So what we'll make this a pattern. We'll use the first hour or so. We use more time today. We'll use the first hour or so to practice our old rules, because only when we practice are we going to get better at this. And as I said, from next time we won't spend this much time on like monuswara and adgunaha. Those I think we will know now. But if there's something which needs explanation, we have to stop and explain that. So we'll start from rule number 3 next time, and I want to give you maybe only just 1 or 2 rules today to add to our list. I won't do all of them, even though I gave you the doc, because we are out of time. We only have like about less than 10 minutes left here. So we'll start from number 3 next time. Let's look at our document, and let me give you maybe 1 or 2 more. And we'll use those rules to practice. When we do next time, we'll all add those to our practice list. So let's go down to today's document, and let's see. I think I gave you 1 or 2 simple rules. Okay. So what we have is let's maybe just do, let's do only these 1, 2, 3. They're kind of simple. Okay. First we'll do jalam jashonte, jalam jashonte, jalan jashonte, jalan jashonte. Rule number 8239. Always know where you are. We are in the Tripadi section. We are already in 8.2. What does that mean? That means the entire Sapada Saptadhyayi has had a chance. Not only that, all the rules up to 8.239 have had a chance to apply. Only then we come here. What does it say? Jhalam. Jhalam is a Shashti. So that is Shashti Sthani Yoga. That means that is where we have to, that is the place of the operation. The thing in the Shashti is the place of that is the Sthana. That is what is which is being operated on. So in place of a Jal letter, Jashaha Adeshaha Bhavanti. So we get an Adesha of Jash. Padasya Ante Vartamananam. So this Padasya Ante Vartamananam is an adjective to Jhalam. So if you have a Jal letter at the end of a Pada, it is going to go to the Jash letter. Now what is Jash? If you look at the Maharishi Sutrani, we're going to have the Jabagada Dash. Jabagada Dash. I think Shankarji must have mentioned to you that in the Maheshwar Sutrani, Pani takes the Panchama Varnas first. These are all the number 5 column in the Varga. This is column number 5. Then comes column number 4 in the Varga. Varga means the that's the 5 by 5 matrix which you have. This one is column number 5. Then comes column number 4, the Jabhai and Garadash. Then comes column number 3, Jaba Garadash. That's what we have right now. Then come column number 1. Column number 2, excuse me, column number 2. And then comes column 1. Okay? So that's how Pani takes it in, because that's the way he needs them. So what we have is Jaba Garadash. So this is number 3, column number 3. Then we say Ka Kha Ga, Cha Cha Ja. So Ta Tha Da. So that's Ta Tha Da. So that's the Ta Tha Da. And the Pa Pa Ba. So number 3. So if you have any jal at the end of a pada, it is going to go to the number 3 letter. Again, we use the Sthanyantar Tamaha. It's going to maintain the same sthana and go to the number 3 column. So quick example, we'll practice it next time. The column is Maranadati Richyate. This is the great Gita one-liner. Is Sambhavitasya Chakirtihi. Maranadati Richyate. So for one who has been honored, dishonor is worse than death. It's a true statement. So Gita has a Subhashitam also. Gita also has some Subhashitam. This is one of them. Is Sambhavitasya Chakirtihi. Maranadati Richyate. So Maranat we had. Maranat Atirichyate. So this is a Padanta Takara because Supting Antam Padam. Supting Antam Padam. And this is a Jal letter. So this Ta is a Jal. In place of that, we want to put the Jash Adesha. This is a Dantya. So we're going to go to the Dantya, which is the Da. Becomes Maranadatirichyate. So, and you'll find an example, many examples in Gita. So from now on, when you have a Padanta Jal, you should immediately try to make it into the corresponding Jash letter. So they all gravitate to number 3 in the column. All these Padanta Jal letters, they all gravitate to the number 3 column all the time. That's the way the tongue moves. See, Pani didn't make up this thing. He only observed the language and he put it into rules. That's the way the tongue operates, You can try to pronounce that. You say Maranadatirichyate. It becomes Da. In English we say shut up. That is Jalam Jashwante. Because shut up. I'm sorry, it's a bad example, excuse me. It became shut up. The shut up is Jalam Jashwante. This is nothing to do with Panini. That's the way the tongue moves. Nobody says shut up, we say shut up. So you find it everywhere, So forget it. That becomes forget it becomes da. Forget it. So that's Jalam Jashwante for you. So that's 8239. So anytime you have Padanta Jal, you're going to make it into a Jash. So the next sutram says, not next sutram, again remember this is 8239. Now I'm jumping to 8455, a much later row. And why does Pani do that, by the way? Because he wants the just to stay here until we get to 8455. He doesn't want to disturb that just letter. What is 8455 says? Kharicha. Kharicha parataha jalam char adesho bhavati. So if you have the jal, it's followed by now a khar letter. This doesn't say anything about padanta. It has to be followed by a letter which is khar. Then it becomes into a char. What is char? Char, if you look at the Maheshwar Sutrani, and we are going to only spend 5 more minutes and we are going to be done with the first half. If you look at the Maheshwar Sutrani, and what is char if you say, you have to go from cha, then ta, tav, kapai, kapai, shashasar. This is what's going to happen. So we're going to have to go to the column number 1. The cha, ta, ta, ka, pa, they will all be column number 1. And what will happen is that this is such a later rule that by the time you come to this kharicha, most of the time, all these would have already changed. The shashasa will already gone away most of the time. So that's why what it boils down to is that only the column 1. So if we have a jal followed by a hard consonant, khar, then the jal becomes into a number 1 column, column number 1, which is kakagagam is ka, cha, ta, ta, and you have the pa. So example from Gita is, we'll practice next time. It says, Kashchid kartum, na kashchid kartum arhati. So first you have to apply the jalam jashwante. It's an earlier rule in Tripadi. So you made it into kashchid, number 3 column. Forget it, forget it. So forget it becomes forget it. So kashchid. And then now we do kharicha, because this ka is a khar letter. Khar means any hard consonant, the khar letter. So khar goes from here to here. So we have letter ka following, so that is a khar letter. So we came back to kashchit. We still have to do step by step. We have to do the jhalam jashwante and then kharicha, kashchit. So we came into ta. So last rule, and we stop with that, is vavasane. Is that if nothing follows, avasam means nothing follows. Pani has a rule for that also, viramo vasanaha. Viramo vasanaha, when nothing follows. Then you have optionally, you can have the jal becoming char, or they may remain the jash by jalam jashwante. So when nothing, so if you say just say ramat, it can be ramat takara or ramad dakara by jalam jashwante. So first you'll do jalam jashwante, and then you will optionally make it into a char adesha. So the avasane vartamananam jalam. So when the jal with nothing follows, va char adesho bhavati. So char adesha is vikalpena. So what you have is that when you have kashchid at the end, then it will first become kashchid by jalam jashwante, and then it will optionally stay there or go become kashchid again. Now as a convention in the language, they always make the char adesha. Nobody will say ramad dakara, even though it's equally correct. No book will write ramad. They'll always ramat only. That's just a convention. As for Panini, you could have said ramad or ramat when nothing follows. So only 3 rules for today. We'll practice next time. So what are 3 rules before we sign off? Is jalam jashwante. If you have a jal at the end of a pada, it's going to gravitate to the number 3 column, the jash. Then kharicha. If you have a jal followed by a hard consonant, which is khar, the jal is going to become the number 1 column, the char, number 1 column. And if you have nothing following, then you have a choice. You can keep it into a jash, or you can make it into a char. So we're already 3 minutes over, so let's do the Mangala Charanam. We'll do Ramayana starting in about half an hour at 4:30, okay? So, Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Vyata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramascha Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhutame Bhorama Mamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti. I think I'll stay, if the class is over, but I'll stay for some questions. If anybody has questions, I'll stay here.